Hello everyone, Blade55555 here, and if you are clicking on this video, I am assuming that you are interested in playing Age of Empires 4, or perhaps you're a new player to the game and you are wondering what should you focus on if your goal is to improve. In this video, I'm going to go over kind of almost everything about Age of Empires 4 a bit, as well as where you should start off if you are new to the game. So first thing I'm going to kind of do is just kind of give a general overview of Age of Empires 4, and then we'll kind of go into a little bit more details on some of it. So Age of Empires 4, there's a single player mode where there's the campaign, which I've heard is good. I'm not really much of a campaign player in RTS games, so I've played it a little bit, but I can't give you an answer. I've heard it's good though from people who've played it. It's more of a historical based campaign, so you'll learn some stuff. And there are some cool videos that go over things that you probably didn't know unless you're a history buff. There's also a play against the skirmish, or play against the AI. You can do this by yourself. You can do this with friends. I see lobbies all the times where people are doing like team games against the AI. The AI has gotten better since the beginning. I heard it wasn't too great in the beginning, but now it's improved significantly. Someone said that if you were to play a 1v1 against the hardest AI, it's equivalent to being platinum in 1 versus 1. I can't confirm or deny if that's true, but that's what I've been told. So it's if you are interested in the multiplayer portion, playing against the AI would still be a recommended way to go, assuming you're interested in multiplayer, or if you want to just play against the AI, that's what you can do. There is multiplayer, where you have a few options here, so I'll just kind of click and show you. There is a co-op versus the AI. So this is again what I was talking about a moment ago. You can play with a random stranger, play against the AI in 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. You can do it versus players. And there is a hidden ELO when you do the quick match versus players. If you go to AoE4world.com and after you play 10 games, you will show up there and you can see what your rank is from the quick match standpoint. There is a ranked mode for both solo and team games. You can choose whichever you prefer, obviously, and I'll show you the ranks here. It goes from bronze all the way to Conqueror 3. Each rank has three options, bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3, all the way to Conqueror 1, 2, 3. And then they do have different logos. The team icon kind of uses more helmets and like a shield, whereas the 1 versus 1 icons uses weapons with a shield, going again, same ranks though, so bronze to Conqueror. And you can also view where you are in the leaderboard on AoE4world.com as well. Again, you do have to play at least 5 games before you show up. Then there is a custom option here where you can, play custom games, whether you want to play with strangers, uh, all that stuff. There's really not much to go in here, right? There's a 2v2, here's a nomad, here's a 450 population mod, which we're going to go over here in just a second. And then there is also a observe mode. Now this mode doesn't work as well as it should. I think it's a little bugged right now, but you could go here and you can go and observe games that allow it, whether it's ranked ladder games, quick match, or custom games if it's allowed. But currently, if you're trying to face, like, let's say you want to watch a pro level play, this doesn't really show up here, unfortunately, right now. It just kind of shows random games, and it is something I hope that is fixed in the future. But if you ever wanted to observe some random games, you can definitely do it here. Otherwise, you do have to go to your friends list, and if someone's in a game, a ladder game, you can right-click their name and do observe match and watch that way. Then there is a mods. So this was added back in March or April, can't remember exactly when, but what you can do here is you can download mods. There are a bunch of maps. There's what they call tuning packs, which is just like, for example, increasing the population to 1,000 for people who enjoy that. Maybe speed things up or balance changes or anything like that. And there's like capture the flag and various modes here, and you can go through by clicking, game. If you want to look at game modes, you can do that search. There's Castle Kings, Regicide, SimCity mode, just a bunch of stuff here. So if you're interested in mods, there are a lot of mods that you can play. There's some really good ones, and then there's obviously, like any other game, there's some bad ones. And then we're going to go over the civilizations now. So if you have played the game before, you might not know this, but 2 new civs were added to the game recently. So when the game launched, it launched with 8: the English, the Chinese, the French, the Holy Roman Empire, the Mongols, Rus, Delhi, and Abbasid. Back on October 25th, Ottomans and the Malians were added as free downloadable content, so you do not have to pay for these. And they are 2 new civs. If you are a fan of other Age of Empires games and you have not played Age of Empires 4, the civilizations in Age of Empires 4 are a lot more unique than Age of Empires 1 or 2. So if you're coming from an Age of Empires 2 background, these civs, for those of you who don't know, Age of Empires 2 civilizations are very similar. They have some differences. In Age of Empires 4, they are way more unique, kind of like Age of Empires 3 in a way, except there's no trade or no card system. So to kind of give you an example of differences between the civs, like the Chinese civilization commonly can build all the landmarks in the game. So every other civ in the game can only choose from one landmark for each age. China can build every single landmark regardless of what age they are in. So they could be in the Imperial Age and they can build their second landmark from the Feudal Age, the Castle Age, or the Imperial Age whenever they want, but they do have to pay the resources for it. So you're going to pay twice to age up pretty much. Abbasid can actually do the same thing. They have 5 wings, so or I think it's 5, maybe it's 6. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they can actually advance through all of them as well, but that's 5 compared to the 8 that China has. And then just to give you another example of a lot of differences is like Rus, when they kill deer, wolves, or boars, they get gold and a bounty system. For each bounty system, which I believe is 150 gold, 250 gold, and 500 gold, their gathering rate increases by 5, 10, 15% respectively. And again, those are just some of the differences. All these civilizations play out differently from each other. Like you're not going to do the same build with French that you're going to do with Rus. So it's a very dynamic way that it goes, and I think it's very enjoyable, but it does make it harder to learn all the civs. So what I want to kind of go into now is a little bit into some of these civs, a little bit more details, I guess, just to kind of, again, I just want to showcase how unique they are just so people understand it. Is, for example, the Malians. This is a new civilization added to the game and probably one of the most unique civs in the game right now because they don't have many units that overlap with the other civs. The other civs have a lot of common units, like archers, spearmen, knights, and all that, and so on and so forth. But like the Malians, the only units they share are the archers and I think scouts. I'm trying to think if there's any others because all their other units are very unique. They have like the Musafati warrior, which has no armor but destroys armored units. And then they have the Sofa, which is kind of like a knight, but it's not a knight, if that makes sense. They also can gather passive gold by dropping pit mines onto gold. So it just gives them passive gold income. No other civ has that in this game. And then even if it depletes, they still gather gold from the pit mine for free, and villagers can gather from gold at the same time. I'm not going to go over all of it, but I just wanted to kind of give just a little bit more of an example of the uniqueness. One more I'm going to give is the Mongols. Is they cannot build walls. Their outposts or towers, if you come from Age of Empires 2, allow them to speed their units up. So if a unit goes under their towers, it gives them a 15% movement speed. It affects all units. It does not affect siege, but it will affect like villagers and all that stuff, and traders, cavalry, and so on. They're also the only civ in the game that starts with a unique scout. It's called the Khan. It shoots an arrow and it has 4 abilities. And again, no other civ has that. They can also move their buildings, so they can move their town center, their military buildings, their pretty much anything. I'm trying to think of a building that they can't move. I don't think they can move their wonder, but other than that, they can move almost anything. They also do not need houses, so this is the only civilization in the game where you do not build houses. They are also the only civilization in the game where when they destroy a building, they get free gold, wood, and food. As it says here, by default it's plus 25, but you get 25, or you can get that to 75 with an upgrade. And then it just kind of, and then they build an uvu over their stone, which gives them passive stone, and their villagers cannot gather stone. And then they do have some unique units like the Mangadai and I think they have something else. Can't remember off the top of my head. But again, I just really wanted to showcase that the uniqueness of these civs and why, even though there's quote unquote only 10 in the game right now, it's way more complex than all the other Age of Empires, except for maybe Age of Empires 3, which has their civs are pretty unique as well. Now, for you people who enjoy or are more completionists, there is stuff for you as well. And maybe I should have included this in the single player portion of this video. Perhaps I'll just move this over there and then this won't make sense, but whatever, who cares? There is something else you can do, is there's something called masteries. Every civilization in the game has them. What they are is they are tasks that you would do to learn. So this is the training mastery. Complete an Art of the War challenge or Nomad or Norman campaign mission, and you just do what it says. So we'll go into the Ottomans just to kind of showcase. Their first one is construct a Sultani trade network and garrison traders within it to its maximum capacity. You're not going to know what this is if you're new to the game, but this is one of the landmarks for the Ottoman Empire. And traders, you just garrison in there. And then the second one is construct a twin minaret madrasa and harvest 2,000 food. I believe that is the Berry landmark, which, yep, that it is. And you will get rewards for this, like so test of strength. Win a 1v1 custom or skirmish match against the easy AI. You'll get a fun fact about the Janissaries and a portrait, and just kind of goes so forth and so on. These portraits. There's also coat of arms. I haven't gone over that yet, so I'll do that now. Is over here. This is your portrait. These are unlocked ones I have. The locked ones are ones I do not have unlocked, obviously. You can just see a bunch of them here. As you can probably tell, I don't do this kind of stuff. I don't personally care. But for those who do, there's some cool ones. Like that one's pretty cool. And then so on and so forth. That's kind of the portraits. Then there's the coat of arms, which is right here. So this is, you can kind of create your own flag. Again, you'll notice I haven't really unlocked many of these. You can do what you want. Here's some frames, positionings, shape, and then you can modify the colors as well. Again, don't really care for it. And then there's the monument as well. These monuments show up by your town center in the game. So if you unlock any of these and select them, you will see them on your town center in the game. So just some kind of other single player things for those who are interested. And then just so you'll know, this is my profile that you're seeing right now. Everyone has it by clicking that icon right here. You can view your match history, which only shows up to 10 at a time. And these are grayed out because a patch came out. When a patch comes out, you can't view your previous games. If your goal is to watch a replay, you can click on one of your games here. Sometimes it takes a minute. Usually it's pretty quick, but since I've opened some of the other menus, there might be a little bit of a memory leak going on. But you can kind of, once this loads eventually. And then, yeah, so it does actually usually show the players, the results, all that stuff. You just click this view replay. It'll take you into the replay, and you can kind of view whatever you need to there. Again, it only does go up to 10. After 10 games, it does start to disappear, unless it's a... it has to be in a specific mode, sorry. So it'll be like 10 quick matches, like 1v1s, 10 solo ranked, and so on. Because I promise you this, on this account, I have played more than 10 games on 1v1s. I've played a lot more. You can actually go back here and click your ranked. You'll see I played 191, but it only shows 10. There was no team ranked last season. That's why these are blank. And then this season, again, you can kind of see the team ranked here. There are taunts in the game as well. So for those who are interested, if you've ever played an Age of Empires game, you've heard of a taunt. They are the voice sound effects, for example, like the laugh. And there's 112 or 14, I guess, but these are locked until you unlock them, which you get if you play a ranked or solo team ranked mode. Just play one game, you will unlock these for the next season. And again, it goes from attacking, defending a player, just various. So for those who like taunts, that is how you do it. If you are curious, you do have to put a slash to use the taunt. So I'm just going to grab a random person. I'm not actually going to do it. But if you do /12, you'll get being rushed. But if you do just 12, nothing will happen. That is a little different from other Age of Empires games, but the general concept is there. You'll also see that there are daily challenges. These give you XP to kind of level up and unlock potential things, such as portraits, or again, what I showed earlier. There's event challenges here, where if you complete these, so for example, if I destroy 5 buildings with a French warship, I will get this portrait. If I gather 1,997 food in a skirmish or multiplayer match, I will get this. Can't remember what it's called, top of my head. And you get it, and I think they do 6 a month or something. I don't know exactly how often they do this. Again, I don't really do it. And then that's about it for this portion of the video. And then there is one more thing about the civilizations I just want to showcase is there are videos in the client on this. If you go to that Learn tab here and you see the civilizations, if you click on a civilization, there is a Learn the Basics here. It does have a bunch of tutorials as well here. This will take you to this will open a tab, which then takes you to the website that kind of goes over the civilizations. Nothing too like, so if you want just a general video overview of a civ, these kind of go over it. Not a bad videos to watch. You can click this for more video or more tutorials. There's a guide to hotkeys here. And then there's the intro tutorial, which again just teaches you the fundamentals of Age of Empires 4, and it's part of the Art of the War campaign or missions here. Now, I'm going to start talking about the more multiplayer focused aspect of the game. This is for the players who are interested in either going into 1 versus 1 ranked mode, even team ranked mode. If your focus is you just want to get better or you just want to play multiplayer, I'm going to kind of go over that aspect of the game in this portion. For starters, I will state I do have a video that goes over how to improve in RTS games in general. It does focus on Age of Empires 4, but those techniques can be utilized in other RTS games. I do have it in the description of this video, so if you are interested in a video, it's about 10 minutes long. Would highly recommend. This is going to be kind of a slightly updated version, but I'm not going to do as in-depth as I did in that video. So, if you are brand new to multiplayer, the very first thing I would recommend you do is go to single player and go to Art of War. You're going to notice that there are 6 challenges here: early game economy, late game economy, basic combat, early siege, late siege, and advanced combat. What these do is these go over the basics of the game. This will show you how to navigate your early, how do you utilize your early villagers? What do you do with them? It'll also kind of teach you like the food, wood, gold, and stone system. Late game economy goes into a little bit more in depth, go into like the late game aspect. In general, in the late game, you want a lot on food, you want a lot on gold and wood because you want to be able to produce some expensive units. Then the basic combat, this goes over, again, the basic combat, it goes over the counter system, like archers beat spears, spears beat knights, so on and so forth. And then this kind of goes into the siege aspect of the game, like Springolds beat Mangonels, and it goes more in depth than that. I'm just giving examples here. And then it goes into late advanced combat here. So these are great videos, great games, game mode, whatever you want to call it, for anyone who is not sure how to play. Even if you've played other RTS games, I would recommend these if you are not familiar with the Age of Empires series in general, especially Age of Empires 4. There's also two civilizations that it goes over as well. It only has the Ottomans and the Malians, so this is only useful if you're playing the new civs, but still something you can do. Would highly recommend it. Even if you play only single player, I would still recommend going over these just so you kind of understand the game more. Now, once you finish the Art of the War, what I would recommend doing is picking a civilization you want to play. Now, what I would recommend is you obviously want to do what's fun for you, but I will tell you that the easiest civs to learn in this game are the English and the French. When you first start the game, and if you do play ranked ladder, you are probably going to see a lot of these two civs because they are the easiest to learn and get wins with at the lower level. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to pick one of these two civs. If you don't mind losing more often, because that's probably what's going to happen if you play other civs, um, then you can go over any of these civs. You know, just read what interests you. For example, when the game first came out, the Rus was the civ I was most interested in and are probably my personal favorite. And even today, they're still my favorite civ. I just enjoy their playstyle. I enjoy their hunting, having to go for the hunts. They're just everything about them is kind of what I enjoy. But I also have a lot of expertise in RTS games, so for me, this wasn't really, I didn't feel like I needed to start with these two. But again, the hardest civs to learn in this game, and will probably cause you the most frustration if you're someone who gets frustrated with losing or something. China is probably the hardest civ to learn, especially for a new player. Mongols is very difficult to learn as well, and Malians is probably up there too. So just be aware that these three civilizations, if you decide to just go straight for one of those three, you may experience more frustration than if you picked an easier civ to learn. But again, it doesn't matter. You play what you think is fun. As long as you're having fun, that is what matters. There's a bunch of YouTube videos out there with guides on how to play some of these civs, so don't hesitate to look those up as well. But once you've picked your civ and you've done the Art of the War, I would recommend playing against the AI. That way you don't feel any pressure. Some players get pressure when they play ranked or quick match or playing with other players, so I really recommend always playing against AI a little bit, just so you kind of have a general idea what you're doing. Once you have your build order figured out, what you want to do, then you can go into that quick match or ranked multiplayer, whichever you prefer, or you can do custom. Again, a very popular custom game mode is the Nomad mode, which is where your villagers, you only start out with 3 villagers and enough resources to build a town center. And that obviously that's a fun mode. I personally enjoy it, and I would recommend it if you haven't tried it yet. And then again, then you can go into ranked or quick match, whichever you prefer. And then that does it for this video of do you want to play Age of Empires 4? I hope this did teach you some things. If you are brand new to the game or you're thinking of playing the game, this kind of goes over everything that is offered in Age of Empires 4. I'm personally a huge fan of the game. I think it's fantastic. If you played it a year ago, you'll notice that it was in a rough spot, but now it's in a very good spot, I would say. Balance-wise, all the civilizations are very close, especially compared to even 6 months ago. I would highly recommend playing it again if you have tried it, and there's a lot you can do and have fun with the game. With that, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment, and I will go over that. Have a good one, everyone.